welcome back to the AI and machine learning track. We're delighted to have Matthias with us from Sicredi. If you were at the event last year and you made the wise decision to come to the AI and machine learning track, then you'll have seen Sicredi present before. I think, for my money, they're one of the most innovative customers that we have, where the large-scale application of AI and machine learning is concerned. I always learn something from a Sicredi presentation. Matthias tells me that they're innovating even faster this year than last year. So please join me in giving Matthias a warm welcome to Teradata Possible.
Thank you. Thank you for the introduction. Well, good afternoon. I'm Matheus. I'm from Sicredi. Sicredi is a credit union from Brazil, and I'm here today to present to you our business case, which is the power of data science with ClearScape analytics to predict the client's income. Let's start with challenges. Every company has challenges. I think the main one is to increase the company's profit. And in our case, we are talking about to offer a personalized financial offer. We are living in a digital evolution. So this means that we require less paperwork to open an account. Also, we need to avoid the risk of fraud. In terms of modeling, and as a data scientist, we are trying to be close to our business area. So it's really important to minimize the dependency of the specialized bureaus, especially when we are talking about the income information. This represents a cost if you need to purchase this information. Also, if you are training a model, you need and you must have the correct response. So this is why when you are training a model to predict the income, you need to have and you need to confirmate this information. We need to ratify the information of the income of the client. Also, it's important to increase the accuracy of your model. In this slide, I'm going to give you the Brazilian macroeconomic context. First, let's start with the GDP. Our GDP is increasing, but it's in a slow pace. Our basic interest rate is in a high level, as you can see. Our inflation seems to be under control, but it's still in a high level. And when we are talking about income, wages, it's really important to take a look at in the inflation, because you can't use an information in your registry database from 10 years ago, 5 years ago. It won't work when you are modeling. The delinquency in the financial system in Brazil is around 4.4. At Sicredi is 2.5. Our unemployment rate in Brazil is 6.5%. And please take a look at this graphic. From all the population that are working now, almost 40% are occupied in an informal way. This means that they don't have the documentation to prove their income. And according to our central bank, close to 15% of the adult population are unbanked. So, income information is expensive if you need to purchase this information from the bureaus. It's volatile, especially due to the inflation. Sometimes it's not informed because it's not an obligated fee when the client is opening his account, or sometimes the clients, they don't have the income. They don't have income. So, and also, still you need to confirm this information to train your model. And this is why it's so complex to estimate by modeling the income and make business with the clients. Like I said in the introduction, I'm from Brazil. We have national presence there. And here we have some numbers. I will translate to pounds. We have close to 30 billion pounds in the credit portfolio in Brazil. Our system has 104 credit unions, 2.7 thousand financial centers, over 8 million clients, 8.4 exactly, more than 40,000 employees. Well, you know our challenges, you know the Brazilian macroeconomic context, and you know us. Now let's deep dive in our business case. And I will start with the before scenario, before ClearScape Analytics. We had an uncalibrated model, codes with low performance, no control on data transfer, and this is a hot topic nowadays, and a limited target group being scored by our old model. It was necessary to rethink all the process. In the after scenario with Vantage Cloud, now we have coding independence, high performance queries, customized model, and we were able to expand our target group of clients that are being scored. And we've done all that with a low learning curve. Using Vantage, the trade-off is speed and cost savings, and I will prove it to you in the next slide. Let's think in a model that is already deployed, running in production, okay? And start with the before scenario. At that moment, we used to just query the data from Teradata, and then do the data wrangling step. Between these two steps, we had a massive data transfer, 7.7 gigabytes. The third step was the model processing, and getting the predictions. The fourth step is deliver these predictions to the business areas. Just to keep in mind, the model output size has around 1.3 gigabyte. This is an import information. And the processing time for the first three steps was around 2 hours and 10, 2 hours and 30 minutes. Now, I'm going to tell you the after scenario with Vantage Cloud. First, we are running the analytics inside Teradata using in-database analytic functions. I will give you more detail in the next slide. And then we are creating views. We are not creating data frames or tables. We are creating views. Our model is a CatBoost model. CatBoost is a similar model when compared to XGBoost model. The difference is that CatBoost allows you to input categorical variables. We are scoring our database using bring your own model. And we got the predictions at the end. And finally, the fourth step is the same as the before scenario. We deliver the predictions. Please, now we are just transferring from the cloud to our system just 1.3 gigabytes. This means that we are saving around 83% in terms of data transfer. And our best time of model processing was just 6 minutes. This means that it's 25 times faster. The most important message in this slide is that we are applying the best data science practice with performance here. A bit more details about in-database analytic functions. As you could see, you are able to minimize the data movement. You can run analytics in all your data. Obviously, it's secure, it's easy to operationalize, and we have performance. And a bit detail about the bring your own model. You can build your model in any tool. In our case, we are using Python. You need to export, when you are training your model, you need to export to one of these formats. In our case, ONNX. And then score your entire data set using the parallel process in Vantage Cloud. This is my last slide. By rethinking all the process and redeveloping this model, we were able to increase our limits consumptions in terms of money around 29%, just in the first month. Like I said, we had model improvements. We are now using, as a response, the verified income information, and we are oftenly retraining our model. It was necessary to rebuild 3 variables. This is why we have future reconstruction here. And also, we expanded our target group of clients that are being scored. In terms of performance, these 2 numbers means that we have a better model. We are decreasing the margin of error of our estimations. In terms of speed, we have a 25 times faster model processing. And for sure, we are implementing the best practices to manage analytics. In terms of cost savings, we are saving around 83% in terms of data transfer. Now we are scoring 2.3 million clients. This is an increase of 32% compared to the old model. And our potential saving per year is around $650,000 US. Thank you very much.
I was so busy making notes that it's difficult for me to get to the stage quickly enough. Thank you very much, Matthias. I'm sure there will be lots of questions from this audience, and in fact, I can see Jean-Charles has got one already. Just wait for the microphone, and then go for it.
Thank you very much. First question, it's about because it's fundamentally a migration process, right? You've put the scoring workload from Databricks to Vantage. And my question would be how easy it was to do that actual migration. I'm thinking especially about the feature reconstruction you've mentioned on the last slide.
Yes. Oh, it was an easy process, okay? Few adjustments in terms of bring your own one model functionality. The future reconstruction, we needed to change, not because we need to adapt the code to process inside Teradata. It was a business need. They are complaining about a problem in the variable. But we had a small changes to adapt the code to run inside ClearScape Analytics. And it was super easy to do that. Just calling 2 or 3 functions and adapting the queries to consult, querying the data inside Teradata. It was really easy to do that. And the process of creating views is also just a function that you need to call and create a view. So it was easy to implement.
Yeah, I have another question. No one mind. Yeah. A second question. So you've used a Python interface. So I'm thinking especially about Teradata ML. Have you used Teradata ML, or was it SQL query sent to Vantage? And the second question, it was really on which interface have you used? Have you used Jupyter Lab or the Databricks interface? So, yeah.
We are using the Databricks interface and running everything inside Teradata. So we kept using Databricks as an interface, but using the power of processing inside Teradata. And that comparison that we've done, that I showed you today, was the same model, same output. The differences was just some adaptations that we've done in the code, but they are the same model, same training, same customers that were scored. So it was a fair comparison. This is what I'm trying to say.
And maybe one of the things that was really interesting about that comparison as well is, in the end, this is one model. And most large organizations, and I'm sure it's true of Sicredi as well, you have multiple models in production, right? There are models like this for trying to verify essentially demographic information. There are credit risk models, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. $650,000 per annum multiplied by 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 models, you can imagine getting to a very big number quite quickly. Right?
Yes, yes. Yes, this is the second generation of the model that we have here that I'm presenting to you. We have the first one that is the old version. The second generation is the improved one. And we are working the third generation that we are splitting in 4 models just to predict the client's income. And yes, for sure, our intention is to cover all of our clients, to score them, to predict the income. Because nowadays, we are expanding around, I don't exactly have the numbers in terms of bureaus in pounds, but I think it will be 200,000 pounds per month in bureaus just for income information. And we are trying to decrease this bill using models. And I'm talking here about the potential saving because we are in a credit union system. We have 104 credit unions in our system, and they are able to choose if they want to use your model prediction or not, if they want to purchase this information. So our job is to try to convince them that our model is working, that our predictions are good, so they use the predictions and they don't need to purchase this information anymore.
And splitting the model in 4 that way is about improving accuracy by having different models, effectively different parameters for different segments?
Yes, yes. We are splitting our customers in 4 categories according to the income, and we are trying to predict according to this. But the model, the new generation, the third generation, is able to predict the income if it is not in the range. For instance, a client that opened his account, let's say 3 years ago, he had 1,000 pounds as an income declared at that moment. But now everything changed. And we are trying to score again. And our model will predict, but he's able to predict, no, his income now is 10,000 pounds per month now. We are letting our models free to estimate and not just follow the range of the income of this client. So we are working in these models because in Brazil, in this way, in Brazil, we are often suffering with inflationary periods. So this affects, in a strong way, the registry information, especially for the incomes and the wages. So this is why you must have a flexible model to estimate the client's income and not a fixed one. I don't know if I was clear, but...
It was clear, I think. And Jean-Charles, if you haven't met him already, is the Teradata king of the multi-model approach. Oh. So you should definitely discuss that segmentation approach. I think we have another question.
Yeah. You've answered this already a little bit, but I was just thinking, that guy on the keynote talking about friction, I thought that was great, that whole thing. So was there a lot of friction? Did you have to do a lot of retraining? Was your data science team okay changing the approach? Did they have to do a lot of learning and stuff, or was it quite, yeah? Because Databricks is a very kind of enclosed environment, isn't it? So then to say, oh, you're going to go and do this bit over there and that bit over there, was it? Yeah.
I'm not sure if I understood. Could you please repeat the...
I think the question was, did you get resistance internally when you said, hey, great idea, we're going to change the way of working because it's going to be better, cheaper, faster? Were there people that said, actually, I like my current way of working, thank you, and leave me alone?
Just because I manage the data science team and they don't like change, right?
Yeah, I understood.
It's not the image people have of them, but they don't like change. So
yeah. as a data scientist, I can say that the culture is a problem that you need to change. And yeah, to do this kind of test, you need to be prepared to do that. And you need to find the perfect person to do this job. And we have a data engineer that is doing this kind of test every month, selecting some queries from one environment and training in another one, just to check the performance. We've done this with SAS, running inside Teradata. Outside, we compare with Databricks, with the information in our data lake, and we compare running inside Teradata. This is other test that we've done recently. And we are always trying to do this kind of thing, testing the performance, because our system is increasing in around 20% per year in terms of credit portfolio, in terms of clients. So our process they are being, how can I say this, overloaded. They are overcharged, I think this is the word. And we need to improve the way to process our model. So we are always trying new technologies. We are always trying to do new ways to process the data. But yeah, it's hard to say that when we are talking about the resistance between the colleagues. Yeah, and we have this rivalry between R and Python too. So yeah, the guys from R, they don't like the Python one. So yeah, this is something that we are facing.
I guess it helps when the results are as clear-cut as they were here, right? 25x improvement in throughput and performance, 83% reduction in data transfer, $650,000 a year. These are big numbers, right? And I guess that makes the case for change easier.
Yes, this is why we are always trying to test things and prove with numbers. This is why we are always trying to do that, because
applying science, the data science.
Yeah, applying data science, yes.
Good stuff. Do we have any more questions in the audience? I have a couple of questions, but I don't want to hog the floor. Yes?
Yes, I would have also a question. You said also that this change led you to improve the quality of the prediction. Could you please explain us which would be the elements which lead you to this improvement? Thank you.
Well, this is a data science approach. We are recalibrating more oftenly every quarter. We are recalibrating our model. This is very important when we are talking about incomes due to the inflation, due to the macroeconomic effects in the wages. Other thing is to use updated database to train your model. So we are looking in the horizon 12 months ago, just behind you, because we are trying to capture the most recent information that we have in our database. In this case here, we didn't change the variables. We just make some adjustments. But in our third generation model, we've changed a lot the variables. We basically reconstruct from the zero the variables. But as you could see, the biggest improvements that I showed you was just to, for instance, improve the quality of the information, because we are talking here about the income. And talking about credit policy, you will adjust your offers looking to the income of the client. And we are talking about the estimation here. So we are updating the estimation. The credit policy is receiving this information and applying a multiplier for your credit card. So if you, for instance, your income was not updated, and let's say we improve your income using the modeling 3 times. They will offer you a credit card limit, maybe 3, 4 times bigger than your income because we have a credit policy looking at your income. So this information is essential to make business, and this is something that we are trying to be close to the business area and showing the power of the prediction to use this to make business. Credit card is just one example. We have pre-approved lines that are looking to this information too. For vehicles, for personal loans. This is pre-approved on your cell phone. And this is why it's so important to have the very best estimation in terms of income.
Thank you. I think we have another question at the back. Liz.
Yes, thank you for a wonderful presentation. Just maybe a follow-up question from what Chris, mentioned around change management. I'll be curious to hear your experience around getting your data scientists and your extended analytics team to embrace ClearScape analytics. Was it difficult for them to embrace it? Did they have to learn many additional, skills in order to, adopt this, etc.? And given that, there's always this debate between the young and upcoming, let's say your data scientists, analytics people versus the very experienced one, but both sides are very rooted in their own user preferences when it comes to tools. Would be good to hear your experience on that.
Yeah. Well, in terms of change management, when we are talking with the business areas, we are always translating these kind of numbers here to a language that they will understand. So we are always trying to say, this model is 4 times better than this one. We are always saying, these predictions are better. You are able to increase your limits approval in 10, 20%. So we are always trying to translate the technical numbers to the business numbers, to a more easy to understand. I think this was your first question, right? This is what we do. I'm working in a credit risk area, so we are always calculating the expected credit loss. So we have experience trying to translate what the models are saying to our business areas too. So we have experience in terms of trying to convince to use the model. In terms of migration technology, this is a concern, like we discussed earlier. We are living in a situation that we have SaaS, we have jobs running in SaaS, jobs running in Databricks on our data lake, and jobs running inside ClearScape Analytics. And we have all these discussions, and what we are trying to do is, like I said, this kind of simple tests to prove that we have a Ferrari here, and we need to use that. And this is what we are trying to do. Small tests, small queries, easy to implement and test, and after that, schedule a meeting and show the outcomes. This is what we are always trying to do.
And just on that point about, we're a credit organization, and providing credit is what we do, but there are losses associated with providing credit. I think I heard you say correctly, because we've talked a lot about improvements in performance, improvements in throughput, reduction in data movements, savings, and those are all really important discussions. But I think I heard you say at the beginning of the presentation that the aggregate delinquency rate in Brazil is 4.4%, but the delinquency rate at Sicredi is 2.5%. I mean, I'm not a banker, but that feels huge in terms of the value saved to the money that goes to the bottom line from that kind of reduction in delinquency rates. Can you talk about that at all?
For sure. Yeah, the 4.4 is the delinquency in the financial system in Brazil. This is the average. And at Sicredi, our delinquency is 2.5%. Our focus in Brazil is to provide credit lines for agriculture. So half of our portfolio, 15 billion pounds, is just to provide money to the farmers to raise cattle, crops, soybeans especially. And this kind of culture, this kind of credit lines are really safe. Because the farmer, they don't want to lose the next year loan. Because they need to, for instance, you hire a loan and you use this loan to plant your seeds, raise your crop, and sell. You need 1 year to do that on average. So these credit lines are renewed every year, so they don't want to lose that. And this is why so they intend and they pay, they preferentially pay this kind of credit to, instead of paying the credit card if they are in money difficulties.
Yeah.
So this is why our market, our focus is on rural, and this is why, so I can say safe. This is why our delinquency is in a low level when compared to financial system in Brazil. But also we have the PD models, that the probability of default models that are very well accurate. And we are using Teradata as a source. So, and this is why we have good models. We have 25 models that predicts the delinquency. And we have one is just specific for rural loans. And he is our best model. The performance indicators are very high when compared to the average. The KS is around 7 points. The Gini almost 80. This is really high when you compare with the regular metrics.
Cool, thank you. Any more questions from the audience? We have one down here, thank you.
One more question for me. You were talking about the model predicting the income. And do you have any other models implemented working using Teradata?
Sorry, I couldn't understand.
Do you have any other models
Yes.
implemented in Teradata?
Yes, we have the PD models. Just the PD it's a component to estimate the expected credit loss. We have the PD, EAD, LLGD, and the other 25 models that estimates the probability of default. We are using ClearScape as a source.
And 25 models, again, is that a segmentation approach? So you have different models for the different segments to improve accuracy?
Perfect, yes. According digital clients, we have specific models. And the clients regular clients that comes to the service station, we have different models because they are different publics. So we treat them differently with different models in this way.
Cool, thank you very much. Any more questions from the audience? Going once, going twice. Well, will you join me please in giving a big hand to Matthias?
Thank you so much, thank you.
So we are back here, I think at the top of the hour, Kevin, for the panel discussion. I said this morning, the magic happens when we bring data engineering and data science together, and that's exactly what we'll do in the panel. Literally, because I think we're all going to be crammed onto this tiny stage. So join us at the top of the hour for the driving a value from AI panel discussion. Look forward to seeing you then. Thank you.